incorporate into our Wednesday sessions as well. So we are live on YouTube and Instagram. Good morning. We're going live Facebook. Yep, it's all good there. Welcome if you're just joining. Monday morning, I don't know about you, but I'm tired this morning. Let's wake ourselves up. Find yourself a comfortable standing spot. And let's do a little bit of mobilization. Let's do a little bit of knocking. Take your feet shoulder width apart. Now, Mondays, focus is on the breath, but we always do this little bit of movement just to mobilize things. So just breathing in and out through the nose. Knocking. Starting off easy. So we'll do a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretching, and then we'll just take a seat for the last 5 minutes and do some little bit more focus on the breath. We talk, and I always highlight how important it is to get the spine mobilized, make sure we're not tightening muscles up in the spine, rotation in particular, that we don't tend to do a lot of. And I was speaking to a guy who's joining my Oxygen Advantage training course in September in London, an osteopath. And we were talking about thoracic spine, so that upper back. And just a point that he highlighted in terms of nerves. So the nerves from T1 to T4, which is going down here, sort of like neck into that point there, they connect to the chest wall and the lungs and the heart. So actually, if we get tightness in that upper back, it can potentially affect our breathing, our heart rate, our nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system. So again, it's important to get this spine mobilized, strong but mobile but flexible. Let's bring the hands up to a light fist, the arm that swings across the front. And we go into that long point. If, as we're doing this, you feel you need to take a fuller breath, you need to hold the breath a little bit and then let go. Do it. If you feel you just need that bit of cleansing and clearing breath. Get into the shoulders now, so bringing the hand across the top, opening up, sort of like cupping that hand that swings across the top, get right into those shoulder muscles. And then back down to chest. And belly and back. Before we slow it down into water waves. How does that feel? Should feel good, hopefully. And take a rest. Bring the feet back just underneath the hips and stand tall for a moment. And then we come a little bit wider, not quite hip width apart, so just a little bit wider with the feet parallel. And we're just going to do a little dip and a reach. As you reach, you're going to lift the sternum, open the throats, just let the arms swing up and then dip down and reach. Little double bounce at the bottom. Breath is just light and easy in and out through the nose. Just let those arms swing. It's almost like as the arms drop down, that brings you down. It just drops. Do a couple more. And then take a rest. Shake out if you need a little bit of a shake out. Just a little bit more dynamic there, which is quite nice. A little bit quicker than some of the slower movements that we're doing. Let's do dog wags the tail, so you can go a little bit wider on the feet. Hips parallel to the ground, spine stays balanced on top of the hips, and then you take the pin out and free the spine up. Visualize that ripple all the way from the base of the spine, all the way from the tailbone through the lower back, coming up to the mid-back, the upper spine, T1, T4 point, the top of that thoracic spine, and then the neck, the cervical spine. And slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. One of the big things I've been really exploring for myself, but highlighting, is we talk about belly breathing. We can talk about belly breathing and chest breathing, and a lot of the focus is bringing the breath low down. Excuse me, low down. But we must remember that this part here, we do need flexibility, we do need movement here in that upper chest. And it's not about using those accessory muscles to breathe up there, it's about creating the space to breathe up here. And we often hold a lot of tightness here because of the cartilage and everything. So another nice little movement that I've been playing with is taking your feet again, just slightly shoulder width apart. Let's go parallel with the feet. We're going into sort of like a little bit of a squat, but I'm keeping my chest lifted here. So I'm not bending down there. I'm keeping that spine long. I'm rotating the shoulders out and just lifting the arms up and then down. So you're just doing arm swings out to the side. As I say, I've just been playing around with the things that are just a little bit more dynamic and combining those with the flow that we do. And you could, as your arms are coming down, you could cross one in front of the other that way, and then the opposite, and then the opposite. So again, it's just nice, it helps to open up here across the front of the chest. Just breathing in and out through the nose. It goes without saying, if these are new movements that you haven't done, take it easy. If anything hurts, stop. Couple more. And then shake out. Again, if you feel you need to take a slightly fuller breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then let's bring the hands on the lower ribs. So you're finding bottom of the ribs there, hands on the side of the ribs. You've got your thumb in the ribs at the back. And just take 3 deliberate full breaths. So we're breathing in a little bit more. We're breathing slower. We'll breathe in. Feel that movement here, feel that expansion here. Watch, keep the shoulders down and then let the breath go. Just do that in your own time. Bringing that breath low. Feeling that movement in the back of the ribs as well here. And then take a rest when you've done 3, shake the hands out. Let's move down, let's find belly button, bottom of the sternum. Let's go in between there. A little bit of pressure. Again, if it feels uncomfortable, stop. But if you're comfortable, to put a little bit of pressure there. And again, 3 deliberate, slow, fuller breaths. So you're pushing the fingers out. If you're putting pressure in as you breathe in, putting pressure on that point as you breathe in, you should push the fingers out as you breathe out. Fingers sink back in. Your belly might rumble as well if you just had a cup of tea. Bringing the breath low, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Once you've done that, let's find belly button. Let's come 3 fingers down below the belly button. Same thing, putting that pressure there. If it feels uncomfortable, do not do it. Stop. Putting that pressure down. 3 deliberate, full, slow breaths through the nose, low into the body. Breathing down. When you've done that, just give your arms a little bit of a rest. Give the arms a little bit of a shake out. Now just standing, just breathing naturally, breathing normally, just visualize or just bring awareness to that space that we've just created. Just keeping the breath very light, but slowing it down. Breathing low into the body. You'll feel that movement, subtle, tiny micro movements in the ribs, in the back, and then low into the abdominal wall. So when we talk about breathing low or breathing deep, this is what I want you to visualize. Breathing deep, it's almost like that golden thin thread of air going deep into the body. It's not about big. This is a big breath. We can all take big breaths. That's fine. We need big breaths as and when we use them. But thinking of deep, slow, light, deep breathing. So what you're doing now, just very soft, light, easy, effortless breathing. Now, the bit that can often then get neglected is this bit up here. So we're often thinking, oh, I don't want to be breathing into the chest. It's bad to chest breathe. We need to breathe into the chest. Even if we're breathing very light, we need to feel that very subtle micro movement here. So just resting your hand on the chest. Think what's at the back of where that hand is. It's the spine and it's the nerves that affect your breathing and your heart rate. So let's give them a little bit of a massage. Let's give the spine a little bit of a massage by just taking slightly fuller breaths in. Again, 3 nice full breaths in. Notice that I'm not hoiking the shoulders or using it as a sharp inhale. It's a very calm, relaxed breath in. Feel the movement here. Think about what we've just done with this movement and this movement. We've created all of this space, this flexibility here. 3 nice full breaths in. And then just natural breathing. So just that light, soft, easy breathing. And then still bringing awareness to this space of that very subtle expansion and contraction of the rib cage. And in this standing position, you'll notice why it's important to think, oh yeah, I just need to be lifted a little bit from the crown so I can keep the spine strong but still flexible. Very light, soft, easy breathing. And without compartmentalizing it, because often we think, oh, I need to breathe here, then breathe here, then breathe here. Notice the space, but almost as it fills up, if you like, from the bottom. So you notice low first, but it's all happening about the same time. It's just a sequence of events. I'm not breathing here, then breathing here, then breathing here. So it's a flow of breath. And if it helps, you can rotate the shoulders and just have the palms facing forwards, if that helps just to open up here a little bit. Light, slow, effortless breathing. and then have a little shake out. It's interesting, isn't it? I was just watching everyone on Zoom. If you're doing like Instagram stuff and it's all got to be visual, this doesn't look fab, does it? Everybody's just standing there doing nothing. But this is so key, so important. The breath work. Yeah, we can do all of this, the breath holds, and we can do all of the hyperventilation, which looks great, and you can have music playing. And I'm certainly not knocking any of that. It all has its place. But this is the key. This is the foundation to feel and to find and to explore and to experience that very light, soft, deep, effortless breathing. Now let's do a little bit of shaking. So tapping the heels into the ground, we can do the washing machine, tapping the heels into the ground, or you can do the tapping the heels into the ground where you're bouncing up and down and tapping the heels into the ground, or you can mix it up and do a little bit of both. Shaking the hands out. And let's do a little bit of cleansing and clearing. So taking a breath in, full breath in and letting go. That letting go is out through the mouth. Again, breath in and let go. Do one more breath in and let go, and slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Just take your feet shoulder width, just standing. Again, if you want to just open the shoulders, palms facing forwards, do so, please do so. And then you're just letting the breath settle. So naturally you'll have increased the breath rate, you'll have increased the heart rate a little bit. Just let everything slow down a little bit, let it happen naturally. And then keeping the spine strong and long, soften into the belly. Just feel how the ribs are very subtly expanding and contracting the rib cage. Notice the space here, that upper chest, very soft. And then also bring that attention to the back of that space as well. So you're breathing into the back of the space, breathing into the back of the spine. Almost like imagining you're massaging all the vertebrae in the back of the spine. And then let's do soaring crane. So if you need to take your feet a little bit further apart, do so. And then we're breathing in. Rotating, connecting forefinger and thumb, breathing out. All that breath is very light and soft, easy in and out through the nose. Let the breath, your breath, guide the movement. Notice with this again what happens with the spine, what happens with the shoulder blades. Focus a little bit more on the back of the body, what's going on at the back of the body here. Breathing in and expanding and breathing out, contracting. And then slowly lowering the arms. And then taking a moment. We'll do pulling down in 6 directions. So breathing in, palms facing up, rotating, breathing out. Breathing in. And then breathing out. To the side. And then resting, interlocking the thumbs, palms resting on the lower dantian. On that point we were focusing on breathing low into, feet together, just closing your eyes. And a few moments of bamboo in the wind, just allowing your body just to very gently rock, sway, spiral. And now taking a calm, full breath in, opening your eyes, stepping out, gentle brush down. It's woke me up a bit, hopefully that's woken you up a little bit. For a Monday morning, have a nice stretch. As you go through your day, just think about that little point there, T1 to T4. That whole idea of thinking about lengthening the back of the neck, lifting from the crown, the idea we often focus on in ears away from the shoulders, and notice how that encourages the space between the top of the vertebra, or between the vertebrae in that spine, and then how that's connected to the heart, the lungs, or how it will affect your breathing. Just have a little think about that. And I will see you on Wednesday. We'll play around with some more new, little more dynamic movements as well on Wednesday. Thanks as always for jumping in. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy the weather if the weather is good.